Hey guys, it's Andrew here again at Prehired, and I've got another success story to share with you guys today. So on the other side of the camera, I've got Hannah, who's all the way out in Portland. So Hannah, thanks for taking some time. I know you're with your son right now, but
Yeah.
just thanks for taking some time and really just starting off. Take a minute or two just to share a little about yourself, about your background.
Okay. I'm Hannah. I'm 21 and I'm a mom of two little boys. My background, as far as my career, has been in childcare, actually, and some upper management for restaurants. And so, nothing with sales, nothing with software yet.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, that's the key word. So what was your interest, kind of a two-part question. What was your interest in software and in sales?
Okay. So I guess my interest in sales began when I actually worked for two different families as a child care provider, and the parents were in sales, and I noticed both of them had strong leadership traits, and they seemed really happy at their jobs. They were making great money, and so at that point, I didn't know what they were doing yet, and I
Mhm.
asked one of them, and he told me he was in sales. I later found out that this other woman was in sales as well, and it made me wonder, like, what's with sales. And so I started looking into it, and I looked at all different kinds of sales, like car sales, software sales. There's even like office supply sales, like fax machines and things like that. And I think I was just able to acknowledge that technology is the most evolving out of all of those things. It's going to just grow and grow and grow. It's the most consistent. It seems to pay the best. And so, although I didn't have any experience with it, I was kind of eager to learn more about it.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, and especially the area you're in, there's a lot of good opportunity. Um, so obviously you said, "Hey, I want to get into tech, want to get into software now." What and you came across Prehired somehow, whether that was through Facebook or wherever it may we popped across. What were your thoughts when we popped across your screen and you first heard about us?
Sorry, one sec. Jonah, can we fix it? No, it's too loud. Um, Sorry. Yeah, I came
It's all
across
good.
it on Facebook, and the first few times I saw it, just scrolled right past. It does look pretty scammy at first. um, I mean, it doesn't help that all of the comments are usually people being skeptical or saying you don't need to do this to get an entry level job in software sales or in sales. But if you take a look at it, and I did for a good few weeks before I even looked at scheduling an admissions interview. If you look at it, it's I don't like to go into things blindly. I
Yeah.
don't want to, like, I have an aunt who has a software solutions company. She sells Wi-Fi and phone service, and she's connected to a bunch of providers. And um, she offered me an internship so I could learn and it would be paid. And I kind of was like, I, you would be helping me at that point. I don't want to have you hand me a job. I want to go learn this on my own. I want to not go in blindly because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Hmm.
And she knew I was interested in it. She told me a little bit about it, but otherwise, um, I wanted to take a look at it on my own. And so I'm now able to enter software sales with a pretty broad knowledge on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's interesting that you actually had an opportunity. I mean, yeah, it was an internship, but still paid. But I was like, no,
Mm-hmm.
let me go for this instead. I find that a little that's kind of funny, because I feel like most people honestly wouldn't have done that. Most people were like, yeah, sure, but you obviously wanted that knowledge, which I like. And yeah, I mean, just going back on the comments, and it's you did your research. You figured out if this is a good fit or not. A lot of the people that post on time, online, they do a quick read and this is a scam, this is whatever. They don't really take
Yeah.
the time to actually do their research, which is usually pretty common. So obviously, you just mentioned that you have a broad range of knowledge. Let's actually talk about the program for you specifically. Like, what did you like about it? How did you feel going through? Did you feel like it's prepared you Obviously, I know you haven't started yet, but just kind of tell us about your actual experience going through the program.
Okay. So I think one of the things I liked the most about the program was learning about compelling outreach to hiring managers when you're looking for a job, and even prospects when you're on the job. So, I could, as mentioned before, I theoretically go get an entry level sales job, and they'll teach you the tools that you need to use. I didn't know anything about sales tools going into the program, so it was still valuable knowledge. Some people come in already being familiar with those things because they've had sales jobs before. So, but I guess you could learn about CRMs, automation tools, lead gen, all of that on the job. What I liked most was learning how to reach out to people in a way that's different, catches their attention, and keeps their attention. Because if you hop on LinkedIn, you'll see people post all the time and they'll say, look at this super awesome sales email I got today compared to this horrible one. And a lot of jobs won't teach you. They'll teach you what tools to use and what their process is, but they won't tell you how to reach out to people with
Exactly.
the words that you're saying.
Exactly. And that's what we actually break down, how to write a compelling, an email or a call or whatever it is, some type of messaging, how to write do a compelling one. Because there's a lot of companies out there. I mean, you don't have the sales experience obviously yet, but like there's people out there that, have that sales experience, but they don't know how to do those things. And it's like, you actually know more than them, which is funny. And that's when you compete against other people for jobs. It's like, oh, how am I going to do that? I don't have the experience. But a lot of these companies, they don't really train on these things. So you have the knowledge. This experience doesn't actually matter so much if you don't know how to do it the right way, which I find
Exactly.
So obviously, went through the program, and now we got certified. Now it's time to find a job. And, for me, this was really cool because obviously I was not your mentor going through the program, but I was helping with the job search. And for people listening, you have two mentors. You have someone that actually helps you go through the program, get certified, and then you have another person that's specifically helping you with the job search, with interviews, offers, the whole 9 yards. And when we first met, it was like a week in, and you already, I think, told me you're on your final interview, which was really cool for me because I was like, wow, this is awesome. I don't have to do as much. She's got she's got the hang of this. But yeah, I want to hear from your side to, what was that like after you got certified, going through the job search, because it was obviously pretty quick.
Yeah, it was super quick. Yeah, I mean, I was like 40% through the program when I had people reaching out to me on LinkedIn saying, hey, your LinkedIn is like really, I'm intrigued. Would you want to talk sometime? And at that time, I was like, well, I don't finish till, no, technically I was supposed to finish November 22nd, but I actually turned in my certification materials on the 10th. And so but I didn't know that yet at that point. And so I said, well, I can't talk right now. Not quite there yet, not quite ready. So why don't we schedule for last week in November, first week in December? And so before I even finished the program, I had like 4 interviews lined up.
Really?
And so I got certified, and that first week before you and I even had our first call to talk about beginning job outreach, I had already done a few, and I was on second, third stages of some of those interviews, and ended up at the end of the first week of looking for jobs having 2 offers that were, as I told you, really hard to choose between.
Yeah, I mean that's it's not normal for I wish everyone listening, like, I wish that, but you obviously did some pretty awesome things that set yourself apart, because normally it takes about 6 weeks on average, and for you to come in and have 2 really solid offers within a week, you obviously did things right, which is awesome to hear and makes my job easier. Most difficult thing with us working together was just trying to pick what's the best fit for you, just to point you in the right direction. So let's kind of talk about that. What where are you going to be working now? What maybe made you decide to pick that company over the other company? Obviously, we don't want to bash either of the companies, but
no, not at all. So both of the offers I actually ended up getting a third offer later that second week too. But so I did get the 3. The first 2 that were super hard to choose between for me, both great job offers. Both would have been great opportunities, just in very, very different ways.
Yep.
So one, huge company, super attractive, like nice office in the city, long commute for me, and great pay, great benefits. I met the team there. They all seemed awesome. I ultimately went with a different company because of the commute to that company, to that office. So the one I ended up going with is Re-MB. It's a startup here in Portland. However, I will be mostly working remote, but my training will be at the office in Portland. And so what Re-MB does is they sell their platform is to decrease the time and effort spent on job candidate reimbursement process. And so I actually had an opportunity to test that out when I drove for my interview to meet him, the CEO, David Heller, downtown. And he said, hey, you use some gas to get here. Here's the link to our website. Why don't you request reimbursement from me just so you can see how it works?
That's cool.
And so that was really neat. I think it's a really, really cool product that he has.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you might know this, but we actually have another member that I don't know if he started or starting the same. There's actually 2 of you from pre-hired.
Yep. And
Yep.
we had the same mentor too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we both had Bobby.
Awesome. Well, Bobby, yeah, I was not his connector, but obviously Bobby knows what he's doing. Anyone listening to Bobby's one of our really good mentors. So, but that's awesome. And I think, yeah, I mean, both companies, other companies, an amazing company as well. I think there's, I think at the end of the day, obviously you made the best fit for yourself and your family. And I think it's a solid fit, and I know you'll help crush it there, and you'll continue to crush it throughout your career. So I'm excited for you. I guess just the last question I've got is, ask this to everybody, we're the first people to say pre-art is not for everybody. But for people that are seriously interested and think this might be a good fit, but they're maybe on the fence, I mean, what would you tell them?
I'll say, if you're seriously interested, you really want to make a career change, and you're committed to doing that, you're willing to work hard, and you check all the boxes, I think everyone should go for it. I've had some people, I left some reviews on Course Report, Facebook. I've had some people reach out to me, and a lot of them seemed like they'd be a good fit, but there's a few in particular who have been sort of, like, one of them asked me what you guys train on. I told him everything, the tools, the skills, the workflows, all about it in depth. And then he asked me what I was going to be doing at my new job. I told him basically the same thing. I said what I was trained on, these tools, skills, workflows, prospecting, qualifying, hopefully eventually maybe becoming an account executive. And so then he asked me again, what does an SDR do then? And I was kind of like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Being coachable is part of it. And
exactly.
we've been having a Facebook Messenger conversation for a week about the breakdown of what this program is and what the role that you'll be in is, and you still don't get it, might not be for you.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I mean, you mentioned that word coachable. I mean, that's the experience is nice, but biggest thing managers, one of the biggest thing managers look for is are you coachable? Because if you're not coachable, either you don't want to listen or you can't listen, you're not going to last. You're not going to be successful. And that's probably a big reason why you got 3 offers, which I actually didn't even know about the third one. I knew about the 2. It's probably why you got them so quickly and why you were successful, because you were coachable. You went in with, hey, I'm going to do everything I'm supposed to do. I'm going to listen to Bobby and, follow what the program is telling me to do, and came off as coachable. And that's probably why, plus with the knowledge you have, that's probably why you got so many offers. So, or a big reason why. So I definitely agree with that.
I guess, and one more thing,
Mm.
I see a lot of people say, in their comments or their questions to Josh about the program, they say, well, I work 50 hours a week. Well, I got kids. I've got I'm going through a rough patch mentally. Like, let me tell you, I've got 2 kids.
Yeah.
I ran an in-home daycare, not anymore. Just as of the last month or so, because of doing this program, stopped. I was working like 55 hours a week. I've got a house to maintain. I mean, I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
So, and it was hard to
Yeah.
not just the program itself, but to balance everything. And if you really are committed to doing it, you can do it.
Exactly. I mean, you're so right. If you want something bad enough, you're gonna make the time for it. People, oh, I this or that. If that's probably the reason. Hey, if you're making excuses why it will be difficult for you, it's probably not a fit for you. Because there's plenty of people that, I mean, I can think of people that they've worked 60, 70 plus hours and they got it done because it was that important to them. So long story short, if we value something, we want to get somewhere, we're going to find the time to do it. If you're already making those excuses, it's probably not a fit, maybe not forever, but maybe not at the moment it's a fit for you. So I definitely agree with that.
1 second, bud.
But that's it. I appreciate you and your son taking the time to share. No, you're good at people won't think this is fake. They're like, this is real. This is live, or live recording. So no, I don't, that I like it being authentic. So that's
okay,
fine.
cool.
But yeah, I appreciate you taking the time to share, and I'm excited to hear how your first couple weeks go and just how your future goes. Obviously, you can definitely stay in touch, and we want you to. But again, thank you for taking the time to share your story with us, Hannah.
Yeah, thank you.